my job in the jiu-jitsu journey right now is getting other people into jiu-jitsu. That's my main goal. I've gotten a lot of friends into it, and they thank me every day. They thank me so much. I've got an old friend right now that I've just newly introduced to jiu-jitsu during the pandemic, and he's just hooked.
Well, that's it. Then you kind of answered my question, because it doesn't actually have to be like I'm gonna spend time with you and actually teach you all these things, but to share how much it's helped you and how, you know, emotionally. I mean, a lot of people, so much of our work here is people come in because they want to learn how to fight, how to defend themselves, but then they start realizing that there's something way deeper going on here, and how emotionally it kind of rescues you, you know?
No, I'm telling you, my worst day I could have in here. I've told this to Jacques several times. I've battled depression my entire life, you know, and so much to the point where, you know, I nearly took myself out exactly 10 years ago now. And I remember the worst days were always out the window when I did jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? This sport, I hate that, you know, jiu-jitsu saved my life, but it really did. Because I look at this sport as like, this is exactly what I needed. The first day I did it, I walked into, because I was doing kickboxing at the time. This is back in the mid-late 2000s. And I remember a guy that I trained with in kickboxing, he did jiu-jitsu once a week at another gym. And so I was like, I wasn't a believer at that time. You know, I was like, that's just a bunch of dudes rolling around on the ground. That stuff would never work. So I go to his gym and I walk in and I see these bunch of guys rolling around, and I'm like, yeah, this stuff would never work. I start walking out, and as I'm walking out, this dude walks towards me. He's an old guy. He's wearing a pink gi. Now, those of you who, I know you know who I'm talking about.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, he's wearing a pink gi, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? You know, so, and he says, come on, let's get you on the mats. You know, he's like, he can't even barely talk because he's had his nose broken 25 times. So he pairs me up with this 14-year-old kid. I'm my size now. I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. He pairs me up with a 14-year-old. This kid couldn't have weighed more than 120 pounds, 5 days into puberty. And this kid wraps me up like a Christmas present, sucks the life out of me, squashes me like a grape, like 5 times in a row. And at that point, I was like, how the hell have I been alive for this long and I never knew about this? You know, I was never a believer. And suddenly I came back the next day and the next day, and I was like, it's just something about the way I rolled on the ground. It worked with me. I wasn't good yet, but it was something, I was loving it. I was like, I never liked boxing. I couldn't move my body the same way as those science boxers.
Yeah.
The head movement and all that. I just never felt it. But with jiu-jitsu, I was like, my hips everything is like working here, you know? And even when I got beat, I was like, that was so fun. You know
I know, that's the best part.
Yeah.
You know?
You know?
But to know what jiu-jitsu does is, you can't lie to jiu-jitsu. When you come into the mat, you reveal yourself to jiu-jitsu. And every day you have your own battle inside of you, until one day jiu-jitsu hits you in a way that, man, I need this for my life.
Yeah.
I never realized I'm born for jiu-jitsu or jiu-jitsu born for me. When I look around, it's like, man, I'm surrounded all by my uncle, the founders of this art. And the way they present jiu-jitsu to us wasn't for a competition at all. Was to change people's life, to give something. Because we all, when we come into a jiu-jitsu school, we probably have different reasons for be there. Some people want to lose weight, some people want to learn how to fight, but emotionally jiu-jitsu start kicking inside of you and not changing you, just balance yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you be a normal person.
Yeah.
And that's what, the way I learned jiu-jitsu and the way we're going to continue to spread that. Going back to that gentleman with the pink gift, people don't know who that is Jean LaBelle, which is a great friend of mine, personally, Jean LaBelle. Hi, Jim, and I'm going to get you to sit here on the table with us, too, very soon.
What's up, Jean?
And let me ask you, that was your beginning life in jiu-jitsu? Yep.
That was my first day, and you know, much different style, as you know. But I'm glad it was my first introduction to it, because it was what I needed at the time, because Gene's style is very like, you know, like